Hi there and welcome to Kapow Cook, and today we are going to be using the potato, and this, we're not going to do the Hasselback, we're going to do the tornado potato. So what you need is your potato, and what we're going to do, we're going to get like a wooden skewer. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure you get it in the middle and be careful you don't get your hands hit by it or cut. So push it in the middle, just try and push that down. Okay, now you push it down, and then a good way is just to go slowly like that, and you want it roughly in the middle. So that I have done two, I'm going to do two. So that is the first stage. Right, so the next stage is the cutting. Now this is a little bit tricky, but once you do this, it's actually really easy. So what you need to do is you need to cut diagonally, not straight, because if we just cut it straight, we're going to cut it off. So watch what I do. I'm going to make sure the thinner the better. You can cut all the way down to the stick, because that is what's going to keep it. So make sure it's on a diagonal. Okay, so we're going to go diagonal. Okay, and you want it nice and thin. Okay, and you can see the lines. Okay, so this is my other one here. So here is the line here, so let's zoom in on that. Okay, so make sure that we go diagonal. Okay, doesn't really matter, try not to see how we got that there. So the thinner the better the cut, so let's carry on doing that and make sure it's a diagonal. Okay, this is better than my other one. I did one before and it wasn't so there we go. So these are better, so make sure of your hands. So you want diagonal like that. You can, like I say, that stick will keep it all stuck together. Keep it like that. Make sure you're going diagonally. If you're not, that's okay. But you want these slices, so look at those slices so far. They are pretty thin. Excellent. So just go slowly, so diagonal all the time. If it's not, just move it. So it is. Okay, and be careful with your hands. So this one's a little bit close. So I'm just going to move it. Do this slowly because of your fingers, thumbs. Okay, it's getting very close, so I need to move it away a bit, like that. So again, if it goes, you want it thin. You don't want these slices too thick. If they're too thick, they're all going to cook at different times as well. So the thicker will take. So that one's a bit too close. Here we go. Go through that, like that. So cut away. Make sure you're going diagonally. I find it a bit easier when I use the end of the knife like that. Make sure, again, so this one here, that's a bit thick. So just be careful, you're trying to get them all pretty thin. So this is not too bad. Move it away. I find it a bit easy doing it like that. That one's very thin. But do it slowly and make sure you don't cut any of them off. If it does, that's life. It happens, doesn't it? So I'm going to cut through there, keep that going. I'm going to make sure it's just a bit more diagonal. That one was very close. The thinner, the better. It'll be more crunchier. It will cook quicker. Okay, and this one's much better than my other one before. I made another one which you'll see in a minute. A bit too thick, so that one will take time, and we'll see when we cook it. Okay, so again, make sure you're diagonally cutting it at a diagonal. Like that. Go slowly. Now if you go over again like that, just carry it on. Okay, let's see. So that happens. So we've gone like that. So I've cut a piece off there. Oops, it happens. Just carry it on. Okay, so like that. And then, so it is tricky this. The more you cook this, it will be easier to do. Okay, and then that is almost it. Alright, so when you've got that, you should hopefully be able to spread it. And so let's zoom out and see this now. So we want to spread it. So it might, some of it might be stuck. Let's spread it a bit. It's okay if it rips a bit because it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we want these all pushed out like that. We don't want them stuck, so you might have to push them. Okay, let's push them out a bit. So this one's a bit of a strong one. Okay, now I'll show you my other one as well. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so you can start to see what's happened, but let's push them a bit further away. Okay, so I'm just going to push them away like that. Right, And I'll show you my other one. Now this one, not as good because it's very thick, okay? So this one will cook quicker because it's thinner. This one's a bit thick, so this will take longer, okay? Right, the next stage is we need to butter the potatoes, okay? So the good thing is, try, if you can, get a bowl like this. If you can hold it like that, that's perfect. Now what I've got a little brush here, but this is not a painting brush, this is a plastic silicone. So the hairs won't come off, yeah? Like Mr. Chris, I don't have any hair. This has no hair, this is also silicone. So what you're going to do is, you can put it there like that, and just basically, ooh, let's see. Let's just keep it in. So let's just pour it. Let's just pour it all over. And like I say, make sure all of this gets butter on it, okay? So we'll just turn it around like that. And because it's in the bowl, we're not wasting any of the butter, okay? And it might turn around like that. So just make sure it just all gets that butter in between, okay? So do that for both, okay? Now when we've done this, I'll just do one. You can hold it as well. So I do it like this. Just make sure that all of it gets the butter. And parts like this, push that out, okay? You can break it, it doesn't really matter. Because what you want, if they're stuck, they're not going to cook as well, okay? So push all this out. Make sure you've washed your hands as well. I've washed the potatoes, okay? Now once we've done that, this is when we then get the mixture, okay? So my mixture is over here. So I've got, there we go. So what I've got my cheese. I've got great, this is like Parmigiano cheese, okay? So you could put in there breadcrumbs. It's about half a mug. What a lovely mug, okay? And what I'm going to put in there, I'm going to put in some salt. Now, some pink salt, like Pink Panther. So this is like pink, you can, any salt is good. So I want to season this, so put quite a bit of salt in. I want it to be nice and tasty, so I'm going to mix that in. And I like my pepper, so let's put a bit of pepper in. Okay, so now I really like pepper, so you can have a little bit. I'll put that in there and just mix it, okay? So you want to mix it a little bit like that, make sure it's all broken. You could put breadcrumbs in here, this would make it better actually, but Mr. Chris has no breadcrumbs. Okay, and the last one, to add a bit of spice, you could keep it like that. I'm going to put some paprika in, okay? So I'm going to, there we go, let's have a look. So just sprinkle a bit in and just mix that around. See that? And make sure all these chunks are broken down. Okay, so now that's all mixed. You can do any flavors you want. You could put herbs in there if you want, Italian mixed herbs. Carlo loves Italian mixed herbs. And then what you do, because that's covered now in butter, we're going to get this, just get a spoon, and the great thing is, look at that, oh, almost. Then we get a spoon, and then we'll just cover these like that, and make sure they all go down inside as well. And this is where you need to make sure you put your butter on, because it will stick. This would be better if you got breadcrumbs. So if you've got breadcrumbs, make sure, like I say, make sure it's all spread as well. So make sure you might have to keep doing that to spread it open, okay? So just make sure all this is covered. If you need to add more mixture, make some more mixture, get some cheese, breadcrumbs, salt and pepper. You could use curry spice, herbs, and that is what you want. So it's all covered. And do that for the ones that you're making and make sure they're all spaced out. Boom. Right, next stage is in the oven. So I've now made sure that these are all spaced. One spaced in between, which is really good. Keep checking it. So this is an oven now. I've got it on 250 degrees Celsius, okay? But different ovens will take different time because this is a very small one. If you've got a big one like in England, it might be quicker. So I'm going to put this in now and just keep an eye on it. So I'm just going to put it on there like that, and then maybe give it 30 or 40 minutes, but make sure it goes in properly, okay? So I'm going to put it on there like that, and then hopefully that will cook. So just keep an eye on that, and after 30 minutes we'll see what actually happens. And that is what it looks like. Look at that, amazing. I have put some salt and pepper, so let's put a bit of extra pepper on there. Salt and pepper. And I've got my mayonnaise with chili sauce. So try that. That is a very simple tornado potato.